entirely.
And what was it, like $500,000 a year it cost to feed them?
Well,
I know.
Tigers. Fucking 100 of them.
186 of them or something.
Yeah, and like 3 or 4 wives. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I went, and I can watch the Osbournes. And for me to say I can watch the Osbournes and not watch that shows you how it's a whole nother level of just stupidity.
I used to watch the Osbournes.
I haven't watched any of the
It's
Tiger
weird.
Kings. I'll have to get in there. We tried to watch one. I wanted to watch one last night, and Sean wouldn't let me. So, John, do you know anything about this country music movie you made me watch the other day?
No, he ain't gonna know about it.
Did we talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about it. It was George Strait, is that right?
Oh,
Yeah.
It was fucking terrible. I fell asleep.
He fell asleep because he didn't fall asleep because it was boring. He fell asleep because he was tired.
It was awful.
And then he wakes up at the credits. Oh.
So, Sean come up with one after our conversation 2 days ago about me opening up a Coke shop.
Yes.
I watched the show Blow last night with Johnny.
Yes.
And it was incredible. And
Yeah.
Sean
It's a good movie.
regained all of his bad movie.
I'm gonna have him watch American Gangster too. If you like Blow,
Good.
you'll like American Gangster. Denzel Washington, man, he does a killer job.
Now,
there's
when I put the cocaine in the coffee, do I put it in the bottom of the coffee or mix it in with the coffee?
No, you put the bag in the crate, then you
Glad-
put
yes,
the coffee over it.
you would not be
Yes.
lasting very long if you just dump it into the coffee.
How am I going to get the Coke out of the coffee after that going? I understand. It's in the bag. Okay.
And they are bricks and bricks. And how about the airplane that was getting packed so full that it could barely make it into the air?
Yeah.
They were
that's
flying
that-
so
that-
much.
That's that Tom Cruise movie. I think
Yes.
that guy was running. What's the name of that one?
That's the one I wanted you to watch too. I'm going to look it up here because you definitely need to watch that one.
Because he was part of the whole Boston George and Pablo Escobar thing, I think.
I just love the part
airplane
at
guy.
the end where he said
American Made.
American Made.
Yeah,
American Made. That's the one I wanted you to watch instead of American Gangster. Watch American Made. That's really good.
I'll
Yep,
tell you
Tom
that
Cruise.
The cool thing at the end of that show when he said if you did cocaine in California in the 80s, there's an 85% chance you did some of ours. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a cool
Yeah.
concept to think
Yep.
that he was like, like if you drank coffee in Michigan, you drank some of mine. That's freaking
Probably
incredible.
not. It's too
that's
fucking
Yeah.
not true, no.
expensive. $4 for a fucking frappuccino shit.
Thanks for the support.
Oh, I'll go to City Grind.
Let me log on to the City Grind page and tell you how many dollars of Doyle's I have.
Oh, I know.
None. He comes in,
I'm
shit.
kidding.
I forgot my wallet out in the car. I can go get it if you want me to. No,
It
Doyle.
works.
All right.
I learned that from an old friend back in the smoking days in the bar. Oh, dude, I left my smokes in the truck. Can I get one from you? Kind of caught on to that one pretty quick.
Well, I'm gonna get. I loved that movie last night. The last 15 minutes I didn't get to watch because Sean's Fire Stick's from '92.
No, your internet shit out.
Hey, we're having an issue here too. Swear to God, we're having an issue with the internet going in and out, especially if it's down. If we're watching a movie where it's drawing so much, and I wonder if it's just because so many people are at home and doing this.
It's the freaking cam girls.
Those
Yeah,
girls are
I know.
Cam girls.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
So I had to tell him the last 15 minutes of the movie, and then I told him there's a YouTube. George Young, he had a YouTube channel. I think he's not doing as much anymore. I think he got wore out because when he was out of prison, man, he was like a celebrity. He was on all these interviews, all these radio stations. They just wanted to sit down and talk to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing that these guys are still alive. But please make sure he watches American Made.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've only seen it once, so I don't remember a lot of it, but that was a
Yeah.
great movie.
That was really good.
Well,
Yeah.
the whole thing was incredible. Like the movie and the business end of it. Like
Yep.
one of my favorite parts of the movie is when he was looking for a spot to put that money, and he's like trying to put it anywhere, and the whole room is filled up with cash. And he says, "Did you weigh that? 60 pounds is 3 million. 55 pounds is 3.5 million." He goes, fuck it, it's close enough. He
No.
He had so much money. He's like, I don't give a shit about $500,000. It's close enough.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And they had it. They were putting it in. I don't know if it was in that movie, but they were truly buying homes and then re-drywalling so they could put it in between the joists.
You have
Yep.
to imagine some of that money's still out there somewhere.
And
Oh,
and
yeah.
what would you, that's so much cash. What are you going to do with it? Seriously.
Well, I think that's what caused some of the spiral, right? Is like they had all this money. You can only do so many hookers and so much coke before
Right.
you're just like, this is boring. Like, what are we going to do?
Buy 20 cars, you know.
I think that's when people go bad, quite honestly, is, you know, what else are you going to do with them?
Well, and yeah, they get past the point where we have more money than we could ever possibly need, and it becomes, that's when the ego kicks in. That's when Tom Bradyism kicks in, and you just want to see if you can push the envelope. Okay, now how much let's do a B-52 full of it instead of a little private plane.
Well, that's what happened with the in that movie from the marijuana, right? Like he was selling
Right.
marijuana, and they had $64,000 in cash. He's like, "Man, we're rich," and Tuna said, "We're rich," and the other guy goes, "That's not enough." You know?
Yeah.
You get greedier.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
And there's a whole TV show based around it now that I was watching. It's called Narcos, and that's exactly what it's all based around.
I heard it's super good. Yeah, it's about Pablo Escobar.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Josh's sister's husband, great uncle.
Yeah, but actually, it's kind of weird because my brother-in-law's like great uncle or something is Pablo Escobar, and my sister's like, that's really cool that happened. But why the fuck didn't I get that last name?
Do you know? Yeah. Do you
She's
know
like, well, that'd
that
be cool to have a bunch of little kids running around, little Jameson Escobar over there.
his money is out there? Like he hid a bunch of money, and there's been like guys. There's a documentary of a guy that's been like he's getting backhoes and he's digging. There's like millions of dollars hidden of Pablo Escobar's money because he got shot and killed.
There was a movie about him, and I can't remember what it is, but he kept breaking out of prison and.
Oh yeah, he owned it. He bought the fucking prison. Of course he's gonna break out. But his house was his cell.
Hippopotamuses that were fucking ad blocker. Damn it. Hang on a second. God, I like swearing on this thing. It's so much fun.
I want him to watch this other movie, not to kind of veer back into the whole music thing. I don't know if John watched this or even he would, but it has to do with like artists getting really screwed by their like managers and that. Is
Hired
Straight Outta
Guns?
Compton.
Oh, Straight Outta Compton. No, I haven't. I would watch that though.
Yeah, it's good.
You both have to watch. I'm sorry, one last one. You both have to watch Hired Guns because that crosses over. You have to do that. Go ahead.
I'll
I
check
wanna
it
get in
out.
the drug business. Hippopotamuses that were brought to Colombia decades ago by Pablo Escobar are now thriving in the country's river ecosystem. Scientists now suspect that river habitats may benefit from the presence of these non-native hippos, with large herbivores filling an ecological niche that has been vacant in the region for thousands of years. So many species of big plant eaters that once roamed the planet were driven to extinction beginning about 100,000 years ago. How are they cocaine hippos? That's what I want to get into. Cocaine hippos, such as Escobar's cocaine hippos, could revitalize and enrich ecosystems. Escobar imported 4 hippos from America in '81 for a private zoo at his hacienda near Colombia. After his drug empire collapsed, the hippos escaped and have been breeding in the wild ever since, now numbering 80 individuals or more. I thought that he was stuffing the hippos with coke. So
No.
that's where I thought this story
Kill
went.
him.
So these were hippos that he had, and now they're... So Pablo Escobar did a lot of bad stuff, but he also brought back the hippo
Oh, he killed.
population.
He was as bad as Bin Laden almost.
Yeah, but he brought back the hippos.
Yeah, But yeah, he was in. Yeah, George Young was his name. Boston George was his dude.
I'm pretty fascinated by
For
the
America.
whole thing.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, and not to take it back too much to the music, but that's why I'm looking forward to talking with this lawyer, because there's parts of that I'm just fascinated in the way that, just like the drug, in the way that it affects society in general.
Ask him on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances you did some of Pablo Escobar's coke?
That's a great question.
Boston George. This is the West Coast, California. If it was the other way, New York is probably the American Gangster dude. No, he did. He sold crack. He didn't really sell
Come
cocaine.
on, Doyle.
He sold crack. Blue Magic.
Before we sign off here, how did your trivia show go?
It went really well. It had about, I think at the highest point, it had 45 people that were participating in it.
270 some comments.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did it the same way. I wasn't nervous. There was a couple of them that I messed up on, and I would just go, "What do you expect? It's free. Shut up."
Right. What you pay for.
Yeah, and it was purely entertainment. I love chatting with the people. I will definitely do it again, but I'll tell you what, I will do it only as Name That Tune. because the Name That Tune, I put one of those sections in there, one of those categories, just to see how the sound was going, because I'm doing it through a small little Bluetooth speaker sitting by the microphone, and I didn't know how it was going to sound, and it sounded really good, and that is so much easier to put together. You will get far more people participating, and I'll probably even delve down in, like I was doing at Bay City Bills, and do it as just 80s music in general as well, because that's a lot of fun. Even though I didn't listen to that music much in high school, that's a big part of my high school years. Is Cyndi Lauper and
Gibson.
culture. Debbie Gibson, yeah.
Looked really good. It sounded good. You had people on there. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I got some donations, which was really nice. Which really nice of people. Yep, $5.50 after PayPal took their chunk. But
gosh, dang.
It was nice. It's a weird thing because I see a lot of these artists that are doing it, and they have up, donations welcome, and I had mentioned it that, it's not necessary in order for you to play by any means. I'm glad that you're here. Everybody has their own financial situations. But if you're able to and you feel like it, you can. And I just don't know how that, I didn't go back and watch it, so I don't know how that comes off as cheesy, or if you should just have the sign and not say anything.
Well,
I think that having the sign and not saying anything pressures people into doing it. I think starting right off by saying, hey, just come enjoy. If you're somehow sitting on a weird pile of cash, give me some of it.
Yep. And I did that. The very first comment in that whole thing was, here's the link, here's the PayPal link, and also I put up a free play-along sheet that I created, and you can go and download it at my store. And I thought that is something that, they're getting a sheet too. There's something that as the whole package there.
What's the link to your store?
Hairballjohn.com.
There you go. It's easy as that.
Jedi was doing some live shows in the beginning of all this.
Yeah.
And some lady's like, well, if this is all like free for us to listen to, why is there some link for money? And he had a great response. I can't remember it all. He's like,
it's not Napster, bitch. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
is that what his response was?
He goes, half the people in my band do this for a living.
Yeah.
So we're out shows right now. We're out a lot of money. We have no gigs that we can do. And he'd be booked every weekend.
Yeah.
So imagine what Danny's going through right now.
And that was one of the comments that I made. So go ahead. As I do I do it once a week at the bars.
Yeah.
And, that's a couple $100 in my pocket.
Right.
That you're not getting now. Did you get a couple $100 off the
no.
Facebook video? No.
No.
I got $5.50. I can buy a pack of smokes.
I know.
So that's good. So hairballjohn.com, you can download all that fun stuff. Sean's selling cars via the internet these days.
Via internet. You have to
We're gonna.
Yeah.
My sister's looking for a Pacifica, and Sean's got one on the lot. So we went through the process of sending Sean her license, and then Sean's gonna have the car outside running. How's that work?
I'm gonna have it out ready. And then I got her license in that. So what you're going to do is you're just going to, have a plastic thing on the steering wheel. I mean, it would be cool if you guys don't, I don't know if you guys have to wear a mask or anything, but I have to have a mask on and gloves. So what you guys do, you come drive it, and then if she wants to trade hers in or what, I'll get it. Unless you guys just want to come drive it today, that's fine. While you're driving it, I'll get it appraised and put everything in the computer, and then you come back, and then what we do after that is I do everything through the phone or email. Can't have you in the showroom.
Nice.
Right.
I cannot, so...
You need a cam girl. You get yourself a cam girl to sell cars is what you
I
need.
needed more than a cam girl. I'm lonely. Man, thank God I live here. I got someone to talk to. Only for a little short time, though. I got a little place I might be having. Single guy.
You want to know what happened last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all go to bed last night. Wake up this morning, and Heather says, I think we're going to have to call the repairman. I'm like, why? And she's like, it's 54 degrees in here. And I said, oh, shit, that's not good. So she's like, the fucking front door is open.
I did it. I woke up wide awake at 1:30 in the morning, couldn't get to sleep, went outside to get some air, trying to be quiet. So I shut the door with the knob turned. You know how it doesn't go click? I'm like, shh. Okay. So I go, I guess the friggin' door opened up. It's 47 degrees in this house today. I feel like, I'm pissed.
Yesterday at some
at
point
myself.
we shut the heat off because it was nice in here, and I don't. nobody's got extra money just to be running the heat for funsies. So we had the heat off. So thankfully the heat wasn't just going outside. It was